Well, welcome to Crowned and Called, Steph. Thank you so much for being here. So I'll get right into it because I don't want to waste your time. And I know our viewers can't wait to hear everything that you have to say. I know you've got an amazing story to share, and I'm personally looking forward to knowing more about how your engineering career came to an end and what you did after that. So let me just start by saying I found your page because of a season that I'm walking through with a career pivot. I found your post where you were very emotional at your kitchen table eating. And I immediately stopped scrolling. It caught my attention. And I was like, oh, I got to know what's going on with this girl. Let me hear what she has to say. So you went from engineering to unemployed to content creator now.
Yeah.
You've got some amazing things on your page, and I'm always on it. Share with me a little bit about that season of your life where that ended. What was that like? How did you walk through that time when you got let go?
Yeah. So I've been an engineer for the past 10 years, and I've been with the company that I was just with for 8 of them. And the reason that moved over to this company was because it was an engineering company in the town where we decided to like put roots down for our family. And it was a much smaller company than the one that I came from originally. And I kind of shifted my focus in engineering from water resources now to more residential site development, which before my projects were much bigger and that they were more focused on water resources. And we used to live near Baltimore, which is like a big city. You're able to just find so many more job opportunities. But then when we settled down in the town that we live, there weren't that many options for water resource engineers. And so my in-laws were like, we have a great neighbor and he actually has his own engineering firm. And I like, long story short, he ended up hiring me a few months later once I was in the market for a job and I started looking in town. I had another job offer that I almost accepted, and I ended up talking to him just as a resource. And he ended up giving me a better job offer closer to home, walkable. The culture
Oh,
was
wow.
amazing. And I loved, like, he was an amazing boss, the best boss. And then he sold the company to the next person. He retired. And I always saw myself at this company because we live in such a small town. I just like thought I would be here until I was ready to retire. I have so many friends that like hop jobs because one, like when you're hopping jobs every 2 to 3 years, you have an opportunity to make more money, to get better promotions, things like that. But I just was not interested in that grind because I am a mom of four. I have four very young kids, 7, 5, 3, and 1. And
Oh,
so
yeah, you're busy.
yeah, and so my interest was not necessarily to climb the corporate ladder. Like I was very happy with my job,
Mhm.
and really the flexibility that came with it because the company culture was very flexible. And then about almost 3 years ago now, I guess, our son had medical things and he was in and out of the doctors, and I needed to be more present at home with him. So I talked to my boss, and at that time I went part-time and I was working 30 hours so I could take him to doctor's appointments twice a week.
Mhm.
And then that was like a transition for 2 years. Once I went part-time, I had the opportunity. I went on maternity leave with our fourth kid, then I came back, and then our kids started school, and they were going off to different places, all of our kids. So it also made sense for me to be able to drive our kids to school and pick them up. And
Mhm.
so I wanted to keep that part-time schedule, and I was just like in love with it. Honestly, I really loved my job and I really loved my schedule because it gave me the flexibility as a mom.
Right.
Even though, of course, I think as a mom you always want even more flexibility and more
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
Um, and so it was great for 2 years. I mean, I was so happy and I was like, I could be here my whole life. Like, this is amazing.
So you saw
Um,
yourself like, this is where I'm going to plant my feet, and this is where I'm retiring from. This is everything. This is my
yeah,
identity.
yeah. And it was a wonderful company to work for. Like, I will literally, I could tell you like a list of all the things that made this company so wonderful. And then in January, well, actually, I'll say back 6 months ago, my boss emailed me and he was just like, "Hey, would you be able to come back to full time?" And I wish it was a conversation we had in person, but it was all via email. And I replied back and I was just like, I'm really comfortable and happy with where I am right now. And I don't want to overextend myself right now. And he didn't even reply to my email. So I just like, okay,
Wow.
everything's fine. Then they hired a CFO. And then 6 months later, he emailed me and he was like, hey, would you be able to come into my office? We need to talk. And I just thought we were going to talk about a project, but really, he was just like, hey, listen, your part-time schedule isn't working for us anymore, and we're going to have to let you go. Like literally, it was a huge shock, but it felt like a slap in the face. And I don't know. I think the way things ended were really, really shitty. I wish it was a different conversation. And I
Hmm.
wish it would
Yeah.
have been more of a conversation instead of just like, we're done with you, or yeah, like give me the option again to come back to full time. If I knew that it was going to be one or the other, I would have been more flexible maybe.
Right.
And so that was really, really hurtful. And I still have, there's definitely feelings every time I think about it.
Yeah.
But and something about me is that I've also always been very entrepreneurial at heart and also like a go-getter. So while I was working my engineering company for a very long time, my husband and I were doing Airbnb on the side. Before we had kids, we started out doing Airbnb in our home, and we were Airbnb 3 rooms before having kids. And then once our daughter was born, we closed our Airbnb and we decided to buy a property. And so I was managing all of it. I was doing the cleaning, I was doing it all. And it was only just like a few blocks away from where we lived and my office. So I would literally just sneak away during lunch breaks, like once a
Hmm.
week to like clean and flip. On weekends, I'd clean and flip. And then it kind of became a lot. And we ended up selling that Airbnb after like a year after COVID. And then afterwards, I was like, now what do I do with my time? Even though we did have, I think, 2 kids at that time.
Hmm.
But I'm just always hungry to do something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so on top of my engineering job, I'm like, what can I do next? And I always I love listening to podcasts and
Yes.
learning from people that are, trying to start a business, a lot of like self-development type of content. And
Hmm.
so for the longest time, I think I over listened to so much that I was like ready to take action and ready to do something, but I wasn't sure what. And I explored so many different things. Like I would tell my husband like a different idea every other day, and he's probably tired of me at that point of just
You're
listening to,
normal.
yeah, tired of listening to me come up with all these crazy ideas. And then one I I love like I'm on my phone a lot too, especially on Instagram. And one time I saw my favorite content creator just sharing how much she was making online by creating content, and she had only been creating content for I want to say it was like 2 years at that time. And she shared how that month she had a contract for a brand that wanted to pay her $75,000 to do a
Wow.
brand deal with her. And I didn't believe it. I was like, that is not real. And so I messaged, I DM'd her and I was like, is this for real? And she's like, yeah, like this brand paid me to make these 5 videos. It was a series and they paid me $75,000. And I was just like, that is crazy.
That's mind blowing.
It's mind blowing. And I was just like, what about her is different that I can't do? Like, why can't I do that?
Yeah.
And I told myself, like, if I went all in for 2 years and if I got a $75,000 brand deal, would it be worth it? 1,000,000%. It was worth it.
100.
So I was just like, okay. I literally opened this Instagram page, the one that I have now, that week. And I'm doing it. I don't even know what I'm going to post about. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to just try. And I told myself, I'm going to post 6 days a week for an entire year, and then I will reevaluate after that where content takes me. If it's really worth it, like if I'm putting in too much effort and nothing's coming out of it, then maybe it's not worth it. But like after a year, I'll reevaluate. And so I started that on top of my engineering job, and that was about 15 months ago. So March 2025.
Hmm.
That's when I started this page. And like a month and a half into posting, one of my reels went like really viral. And that's kind of what started my page and like growth. I saw growth like super quickly
Right.
because of a reel that went viral. But also, I don't think I would have gained all of those followers if I hadn't been consistent prior because like it looked like I was a content creator. I was sharing almost every single day. and people expected me to share. Like they saw my stuff every day.
Right.
And so like
It
three
was
and a half,
routine and you were consistent, and they were, every time they got on, I'm pretty sure they were like, what is she going to share today?
yeah,
What did she post today? It was
yeah,
almost like an expected thing. Your audience was like, they couldn't wait to hear or see and watch what you were posting next.
yeah. And the way that I got started with content is like, what do I want to post about? And the other thing on my feed, I saw this guy that was like a 20-year-old sharing his like morning routines. And I was just like, people would get a kick out of seeing my morning routine as a mom of four. So that's kind of how it started. And I just started sharing my morning routine as a mom, as a working mom of four. And so I was doing the same. It was really like literally the exact same type of video every day for a month and a half. And then the reel that went viral was like one night I was didn't have time to put a voiceover over it, and I was gonna make the kids lunches, and I was just like, I don't have enough time. I jokingly told my husband, like, just do the voiceover and I'll see if I like it and I'll post that. Because I had also seen another trend where like a girl was getting ready and her brother was doing the voiceover as she was getting ready, and it was kind of funny. And I was
Oh
like,
my, that's genius.
I'm gonna try that with my husband. And he did that very first voiceover. And that's the video that went mega, mega viral. Over 8
So he
million
probably
views.
said, I made you famous, honey.
But what's fun, what's like funny but not funny is that it was like it got a lot of hate. A lot of people said a lot of negative things towards him
Really? Wow.
because it was a video about me and my morning routine, but he was the one that was like narrating it, and they're like, "Where are you? Like, why aren't you helping?" So he got a lot of hate, and but it definitely brought the right people to my account
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
And yeah, so after that video, like 3.5 months later, I started getting a lot of inbound emails from brands, and my first big brand deal. It was three $6,500 to make two or three videos. I can't remember anymore, but it was a huge opportunity, and that unlocked something in my brain that I was like, holy, I can actually do this.
You're
I
like,
can
I
actually do this.
can.
Yeah. And then ever since then, I've just been like
So, I mean,
posting
you've
consistently.
you shared all this about taking that brave step to be a full-time content creator and the many blessings that have followed because you made that bold decision to take the next step and walk forward and not have a pity party about your job loss. But I do want to take us just a couple steps back to your engineering career, because not to, I'm not, I just to briefly tell you a little bit about myself. I poured 11 years into an agency, and that suddenly was taken. It was taken away. And the financial burden that that caused has been, oh my gosh, it's been challenging. I'll just say that. So I've had to pivot and find a way to, number one, produce income. Number two, find my calling, find out who Melinda truly is, because that agency, that business, it was my identity. It was everything. It was like, I did not know how to wake up the next day and breathe. It was difficult. So take me to your point when they terminated your contract. And I don't want to spend too much time on that because I don't want to, I don't want to just make this a depressing talk. But it's an important talk because I think that's the whole purpose of Crowned and Called is most women are afraid to talk about the real raw
Yeah.
walk. And
Yeah.
they're like, we can sugarcoat everything and we can look pretty on Instagram, but I want to know how she made it through to become
Oh,
successful as a content creator. There was a lot that you walked through. There was the in between piece between the content creation queen that you are and the engineer. Let's talk about that middle piece. So, how much of your identity was wrapped up in that engineering career at that job?
I think if it had been like a year before, it would have been a lot harder. I think having this thing on the side that was like a passion project and was just like a creative outlet for me made the transition easier, but it definitely still stung and like hurt like hell. And at first I was like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna start looking for another engineering job. what I'm gonna do. And yeah, your identity is so tied to what you've spent your entire career doing. It's the
Yeah.
only thing that I've known, that I've done. I literally worked so hard in school. My parents sacrificed so much for my siblings and I to get an education in America.
Mhm.
And it kind of also felt like you're a little bit of a failure. Like I, yeah, I definitely felt like a failure. Like what something had to, I don't know. I don't know. It is hurtful. It was
Yeah.
very hurtful.
100%. So, what was
And
happening behind the scenes? Because I know for me, the private battle, like the thing that nobody really saw was the 2 a.m., emotional moments like this is gone now. And those private battles where
oh
you
yeah,
question, you're like, nobody sees this, thank God.
I don't,
But
yeah, I don't think I slept. I don't think I slept for, it would take me so long to fall asleep because like that's all you're
really,
thinking in the back of your head is like,
hmm
how am I going to make this work? Like our entire family, we're all on our health insurance, my health
oh,
insurance, and my health insurance ended the day that I got let go and I didn't get any severance. And that was even more hurtful. Like how
mhm.
I just like couldn't understand how anyone could do that to anyone. And it was extremely hurtful.
I was in the same situation. Not only did the contract end, but the horrible piece was, guess what? We're not giving you any money. I'm like, what? So I know that feeling. That's not a good feeling. To have the termination. It's another thing when the financial piece plays in and then you leave them high and dry like that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Moving to faith, because that's what's helped me. That's been my lifeline, is standing strong on scripture and my small circle of women. So for you, did you ever wrestle with God on like, hey, why is this happening to me? Where do you want me to go next?
Yeah, I definitely did. And I try to really stay in a positive mindset. And I just kept telling myself, like, literally, God already has his plan. Like, I don't, his plan is better than my plan, whatever I have planned. And I know that he has a better plan than whatever this is. And maybe I just can't see that right now. But I know it's going to get better. Like, that's literally what has been my mindset. It probably took me a week to get there. I know that, this door is closing because a bigger one is meant to be opened, and I don't know where
Amen.
what that door is yet,
Mhm.
but I felt it like it was kind of the push I needed in order to go all in with content creation because I probably would have never risked leaving such a stable job for something that is so unknown
Mhm.
because this was just a side hustle. This was just something I was doing for fun. And it would have taken a lot of courage for me to leave my stable engineering job and go on with content creation.
That's a bold step. It really is. It's an easy step to just go find another engineering job, right? And make
Yeah,
the amount of money that you need to that you were used to provide the lifestyle you had and to take care of the kiddos. But I think it takes more courage and strength to be able to say, you know what, God, you stripped me of everything. And it takes a minute to get to a point in your life where you go, okay, let me take a deep breath. Let me, the lens that was over my eyes is clear now. So now I'm going to try this and I'm going to take that bold next step forward. And, you know, I'm still figuring it out myself. But I do know that, like you said, God's plan is perfect. Melinda's plan is not. And I have to remember that. I have to remember that as I continue to, if I'm given another day to wake up and enjoy and pour into other women, that to me is a layer of healing. Our conversation is a layer of healing. And I hope that that's what this podcast does for other women so they can watch and learn and go, you know what? Wow, I walked through the same thing, or I'm going through that right now. I'm going to go out and I'm going to take that next step and I'm going to try to be a content creator, or I'm going to go apply for that next job, or I'm simply just going to get up and live today. So
yeah,
I think that's super important. So, as a mom, how do you stay strong for your family during this whole, what do you lean on during this whole transition, this pivot that you've had to make?
yeah. definitely lean a lot on God and prayer that everything will be okay. But I've also just always been a hard worker, even the same example my parents always set. It's
Hmm.
in my nature to work hard and figure it out.
Hmm.
Every single problem is a problem because it's solvable. There is a
Yes,
solution, and you
that's
just
good.
have to find it. You just have to find what that solution is. And like having that experience, I know is like so shitty for everyone in this position. Um,
Mhm.
but for me, it's like I never want to feel like that ever again.
Yes.
And it also made me realize like I don't want to keep building, I don't want to keep working so hard towards something that somebody else's and I could just be stripped of it like with literally the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
What can I work towards that is something of my own that no one can take away from me? And that's kind of what I've been trying to figure out. I don't know what that is yet. Like, yes, I'm doing content creation. I think this will take me somewhere, but I don't think this is my end game. Like, I think this is just the beginning of something bigger, whatever that is. I'm
Hmm.
still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And I think I'm standing on, just the words that have been poured into me. Like when one door closes, that just means that there's another door that's going to open for you, Melinda. That's going to have bigger and better things for you. And in the beginning, I was like, well, I don't really give a crap about the damn next door that's open. I just had this one closed. What the hell?
Yeah.
So, but it does take time, right? It takes time for you to come to the realization that, hey, you know what? There is something bigger for me because I've had some downtime, some time to pause and go, I can truly find what my calling is because I'm starting to, as I dig into God's word and I'm starting to find me again. I'm starting to find the creative person, the one who loves life and is not so busy. So I get that. Like I truly feel that things that happen, and this was shared with me by another lady in our community. She said, look at things as if things that are happening to you, they're not things that are happening in your life are not happening to you, they're happening for you. So the next level that God's taking you or that next door that's open that you're about to walk through, everything that you went through prior was to prepare you to walk through that, to walk into that next chapter of your life because you can't just be advanced in a career, right? Without having the training or the experience or the knowledge. It takes steps, and it's the same thing with trials. I look at that as a trial or tribulation, whatever. We have to go through those little pain moments in our life, and we can look at that as, hey, that whatever situation it was is going to advance us to something greater. And I'm starting to understand that, and I'm starting to see that and believe that. But I'll tell you what, the enemy loves to put crap in my head every day. And it's like, I can recognize now those thoughts like, nope, I don't receive that. Nope, God has something bigger and better for me. And I'm not going to entertain that thought. The chapter ended, then fine, let it end. Let's move forward. So, is there a scripture that you stand on that, you hold near and dear to your heart that you're like, okay, I'm standing on this, or anytime that negative thought enters my head, I'm just going to repeat this? Or is there a motivational thing that you repeat every day to help you keep going?
Oh man. I don't have anything. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay, now I need something. I need to listen to this podcast so I can hear what other people have to say.
Oh, there's been some great stuff that has been shared. I will tell you that. And just from the few that we've had recorded so far, because I'm still a baby. Like, this is still new. I'm not no Jessie Jane or whatever her name is. I don't know. And she's like the yap queen.
Yeah.
Not there yet, but I will be. Who knows? Maybe she'll come on my podcast. But I think we all have a story, right? We all have something that helps us. And every conversation that I've had has been, like I said, a layer of healing. And there have been some great nuggets that these ladies have shared. And I'm like, wow, like had I known this, but it's timing, it's God's timing. So, and when I came across your page, I was just like, I gotta know this lady. Like, there's something behind these tears. Like, Oh my God, I got to know. And she's got to tell the world, which you are telling the world already. But thank you so much for just being here and just sharing. What are we called to next? What is God calling us to do next? And I know some of us are still trying to figure that out. But looking back now, do you believe that losing your engineer career was God is advancing you to the next chapter of your life? Do you feel like losing that was his plan?
Definitely. At this point, I definitely do. I think he has way bigger plans for me that I don't see yet, but I know that I'm meant to serve a way bigger purpose than
Hmm.
what I was doing in my cubicle.
Oh, that's
I
good.
truly believe that I'm meant to touch so many more lives. And the one thing that I love about my platform and being able to create content is I'm able to just impact so many who are maybe in a hard season. Maybe they've been through the same season.
Yes.
And it's kind of like what you're doing too. You're trying to make a bigger impact. You're trying to, from a hard moment, have something that's like what that was because of something much bigger that's supposed to happen. And I know
Yeah.
that my purpose is supposed to be bigger than what I was doing, and that's why it happened. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us, where are you going next with your content creation? I know you share a lot on how to, post on social media, and I'm going to try your little flip thing today where you record. I tried to do it before we got on our talk. I was like, I gotta go watch your video again. It's not working. So
Yeah,
I
it
love
takes
that
some
kind of stuff.
practice.
Where are you going with your content?
My content is I'm really just documenting my life. I don't want to like just say like all I talk about is content creation. It's definitely like one of my big pillars because content creation has changed my life in a very big way. It's given me so many incredible opportunities, and I honestly think that so many more people are like capable of doing it. They just kind of need the push and the like encouragement that they're capable. And I think anyone, like no matter where in your life you are, what walk of life you're going through, just documenting your life
Hmm.
is going to help you, one, build community, find the people that are like walking along the same path that you are, and you're going to be able to impact someone else and they need to hear your story. And you might be thinking like it's already oversaturated. There's so many people posting content, but really there's someone out there that's waiting to hear your story. And I
Yes.
I 100 like feel that to my core
Yeah.
because I have so many women that have told me like no one else's content makes me feel like the content that you put out. And for the longest
Wow.
time, I told myself I don't have anything to share. And that was just not true. That was just not true. And I don't think it's true for anyone. I think everybody has a story to share. Yeah, yeah, no, there's now it's crazy. My account has just continues
I
to
love it.
grow, and I love I love creating content. I love the impact that I'm getting to make, and I know that it's just gonna lead to way more things that I can't even imagine. But I hope to down the road, I hope to continue documenting my life. It's just literally whatever season of life that I'm in. And I do want to create some kind of community either for aspiring creators or creators because I think the creator community it does feel isolating because you're just kind of doing your own thing. Everybody's doing their own thing. But having something where all creators can like come together and like collaborate and I don't know, work together somehow
Yeah.
to become better and yeah.
I know you on your page, you do offer, if somebody was interested and they wanted to learn all the many things that you have done that have made you successful as a content creator, do you offer classes or do you offer, I thought I saw something like that on your page.
Yeah. So one of the things that propelled me to create a course on everything I had learned as a content creator was just the amount of questions I was getting on like how are you actually making money with your content? And I didn't start monetizing my content for the first 6 months. Like I posted 6 months without trying to make anything. I did have that really big brand deal around 3 months in, but that didn't get posted until like after 6 months. It takes a long time. The bigger contracts just take a lot more time to come to fruition. And so after I started so one of the reasons that I did start creating content was because I saw like money transparency videos where people were sharing how much money they were making with brand deals
Hmm.
and like affiliate links and all that stuff. And I was like, I want to create the kind of content that I like watching, so I'm going to make these videos. And I started sharing like my monthly income that I was making online. And that brought on another wave of like a different kind of following that was interested in learning how I was doing it. And so I was getting hundreds of DMs of people asking me like, how
Wow.
do I get started? How do I do it? And I started developing a course to teach people like everything I knew. Like if I was getting started from zero, this is exactly what I would do. How to figure out exactly what you should be creating content around, how to create content, how to edit your videos, how to create your personal brand and have like a more branded feel to your page, how to work with brand deals, how to find brand deals, affiliate links, all thing affiliate like everything I know that I've learned to that point. I think in the first year, not the first year, but in 2025, I made close to $30,000 with just brand deals, affiliate links, and views. Views was like the last 2 months of 2025, but that is still like one of my smallest things. But pretty much I wanted to teach everybody how I was doing it, and I started developing a course. But with my engineering job, I wasn't able to get too far along with it. So when I did lose my engineering job, I started pouring all of my energy, like literally the time that I would spend at my cube, I would go to a coffee shop and work on this course
Love it.
because I didn't know what else to do. And so I was just like, I'm just going to make this thing. And then I have something to offer that's my own. And I
Mhm.
get to teach people something that I'm very passionate about. And that course, it ended up taking me, since I got let go, like 2.5 months to create. It is a very all encompassing of everything I know. So it took me a long time to put together. And it's a 7 module course with like videos on each module, a homework assignment, a lot more like written information, and then kind of like a step by step of this is what you need to do next.
Wow.
And so the first the first week, the first week, I'm trying to remember how much I made the first week. Like it blew my mind. It blew my mind how successful this course was. I want to say I can't remember exactly. I think the first week I made over close to $50,000 the first
What?
week with just my course. Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. And
So
that
this is
month,
true. Like it really does happen.
it really
That's
does happen. It's
awesome.
crazy. And the first month I mean, and that month, my launch week with like affiliates and everything else, I made close to 80, like 79,000 something something. 79,000. And that was like exactly 1 year since I saw that content creator saying she made 75,000 from that brand deal.
Wow.
It wasn't a brand deal, but I created my own thing. It was brand deals, it was affiliate links, it was a combination of all of that. And I got to that dollar amount. It still does not compute in my brain that that is real life, but I'm just like so fired up and excited to just like shout it to the world like there's so many opportunities online.
Gosh. I need to
Create
take
the
your
content.
class. I think I'm going to go order that
Create
when
the
I mean,
content.
I've got the downtime, so I need to do that.
If there is a knowledge, if there's like some knowledge that you have that it took you a while to figure out and you're able to teach someone in half the time, people are willing to pay for it. And digital products is like the easiest way that you can start making money. And some people that are creators, they don't even do brand deals or affiliate links because all they promote is their own thing and it's their own digital product.
So
And it
awesome.
can literally be anything, anything. I don't You talked about like Jessie Jean, but like Jessie got started doing furniture flips and hers are like an amateur's furniture flips, but she created an ebook on how she does furniture flips for people that with ADHD and for beginners, which is like what she was. And just with that digital product alone, I think she's made over $20,000 with something that she just learned 3 months ago. three
Wow.
months ago, like go learn a skill, go
Yeah,
watch all the YouTube videos, learn a skill, and then make an ebook and sell it. It's
I
so
love that.
simple. It's so
But
simple.
just tying this all the way back to losing the job. Like I kind of feel the more I talk to people and the more I learn and the more I start to see Melinda being revealed, I'm just like, you know what? That job loss was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, truly, because it's allowed me and also forced me to step out of my comfort zone and take the next step boldly into something that I'm not comfortable doing, like this.
You're incredible at this podcast. Like seriously, like I feel like I'm
Thank
talking
you.
to a friend, and that's what makes, I think, a great podcast host.
And
And
these conversations right here, they can watch and they can go, oh my God, it is real. I can do this. This is
it's
what I
so
need to
real.
do.
It's
And
so
sometimes
real.
also you just have to invest in yourself. Go invest in yourself to learn something new because all of us are uniquely made. We all have an individual gift. We just have to bring it out and introduce it to the world. I think everything you're doing is amazing. I think all the, engineering time coming to an end has allowed us to have you right now, this you. And I'm so thankful for it because I needed it. See, it's like a divine meeting right here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think what you have right now is so valuable to so many people. If they would just take 1 second and lean in on what you said, just going out there and doing it and creating something simple like an ebook. What's your best advice that you could give someone that wants to dive in? What would be next step to take to do that?
yeah. Man, I have so many pieces of advice, but
You're like, that's a hard question.
the biggest thing is you have to go all in and you have to be so consistent. One, like with content creation, the opportunities are endless and your income potential is uncapped. Like when I'm saying uncapped, uncapped. This content creator that I said made $75,000 from that brand deal. Last year in 2025, she made over $600,000. And just in the first 6 months of
Nice.
this year, she's already exceeded what she made in 2025 in the first 6 months of this year, which is crazy.
That's mind blowing.
And so much marketing dollars are moving from traditional marketing to social media influencer marketing because that's where everybody's attentions are. Think about
Mhm.
like how often are you watching TV from when you were watching TV like 15 years ago? I don't
Mm.
turn on my TV. My attention is on my
Oh,
phone, but it
that's
it
true.
is my job now. I don't know. I don't watch TV. Most people spend their time scrolling. And so many companies, even huge companies are just starting to figure out like, no, we need to move more of our marketing dollars to social media. And so the opportunities are just like, I think we are just scratching the surface with what is
Yes.
possible and how much money you can make. And I don't know what the statistic is, but it's like it's supposed to like 10x what it is now. And so
Yeah.
consistency, and
Okay.
if you want to be successful, like yes, you are the niche, but you need to have a message that you are trying to get across and you want to be recognizable for that message. And so I think what allowed my account to become super successful is that the message that I had the entire time, and it's still my message, is as a mom, I want moms to pour into themselves first before they pour into their kids in order to show up as the best version of themselves, the best mom, the most productive throughout their day. Like that is my motto. That is like a motto that I live by. And probably in 90% of my videos, that is the message that I'm getting across. And
Hmm.
moms are motivated by that. And that's what I've become recognizable for. So, like, what is a message that you kind of live by, and how can you create content around that message? And you can talk about different topics within that message, but always come back to that message and know who you're talking to. Know exactly who your target audience is. Because if you don't know who you're talking to no one.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah. And the other thing is like if you want to actually make it work with content creation, you have to study it. Like it's a job, like it's something that you're going to school for. And
Yeah.
people go to school for 4 years and they pay a shit ton of money to go to school and maybe not even make half of what they're supposed to be making out of school. If you went all in on content creation for 4 years and you treated it like an education, you are going to get so much out of all of that hard work.
Yeah.
If you tell yourself you're going to do something for 4 years and you study it like it's your job, you're going to make it your job.
Yep. That's great advice, Steph. Oh my goodness, that's good. So, consistency, knowing your target audience, finding your niche, and I think most importantly, just being bold and vulnerable to get out there and do it.
Yeah, that is the other huge one, like getting over the fear of being cringe and whatever what other people are going to think about you. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter if you think about it. It's not going to matter when you're making $1 million a year for
For real.
content creation. It's not going to matter. People are going to be asking you like, "How did you do it?" They're
Yeah.
not going to be like, "Oh my gosh, she was so cringy." What I like to remember is like the only people that are going to be judging you are the people that are too afraid to do it themselves. And the
Oh, yeah.
content creators, no content creator is going to look at you and look down on you or like have negative things to say because they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's stuck in our head too is like Jessie Jane, any other. I say her because she's just so big right now. She's like the Ella Langley of content creation. So I kind of just feel like if you, like you said, study and find those people and do what you said, consistency, find your niche and go all in, like just go. So who's the one person that you follow all the time that you learn from?
My favorite creator is Alex. Her old handle is Alex on a budget, but now it's Alex Petra something. I can't pronounce her last name. But it starts with a P.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. All right.
she's
So
amazing.
if somebody wants to reach out to you, I know you're Steph Fisher on Instagram, right?
It's
Um,
Steph Fi with three underscores.
okay, okay. And then how does someone find you if they wanted to reach out? Is it just Instagram or do you have an email, a website?
You can email me. My email is Steph B so Steph Fi dot social at Gmail. But probably the quickest way is honestly a DM. I respond to all of my DMs. Yeah, I'm always there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. I'll let you get back to your day because we're pretty much at an hour and I don't want to keep you. I know you got four kiddos. I've got four and I remember when they were that little. I'm surprised you even have this time for me. So thank you so much for sharing. And I just want to say kudos to you for being bold and stepping out on faith and doing the content creation because you are changing so many lives. You know that already because of the messages that you get, private DMs. But thank you for healing me during my season. And I pray that God opens many doors for you and He enlarges your territory of brand deal. I'm right there with you too, girl. Let's go.
Yes, let's
The next 6 months are going to be amazing.
for having me and thank you for having this platform for other women that are going through the same, you know,
Yes.
devastating news that
Yes.
we never thought was going to be us, but here we
Yeah.
are. So, yeah, thank you for your encouragement and for having this platform.